Yeah, so we back. That was funny. I couldn't keep letting the stream go and then not, you know. I'm gonna let people pile in again. I'm not gonna go through the whole posting links back up again. But we are, I don't know, we're continuing from where we were. I just hate that I have to go back and put this thumbnail back up. That sucks. Yeah, we are back, Alorio. No, so that was weird. I'm like getting anxious. I'm like, you know what? I can't. I'm not gonna leave my dad hanging like that. I'm gonna just, let me just go and call my dad. But good thing there's no pertinent emergency. He just wanted to know when I was going to Norway. He didn't know what time my flight was, and also, um, someone in my family just graduated from police schooling, so he's letting me know about that. So my dad just does these check-ins. We check in. I should probably tell them my live stream schedule, except I don't really have one. So it is what it is. He's back. Yeah, Greg, we're back. Yeah, you could clearly see that, like, as I was on the live stream, and I'm like, shit, I am gonna call my dad, because I was just, for those of you guys who are just tuning in now, my dad called middle of the stream, and I'm like, I will send them a text that I'm gonna call him after the live stream. Then I'm like, let me just do it now. Y'all don't really care, so it's fine. Hey, from Russia with love. Let's go. I have a lot of German and Russian subscribers, which I didn't realize. Um, I didn't know that like resonated with both those communities very well. But yeah, respects, man. Speaking of which, we got the Thunder from Down Under. Jay Morris, what's going on? Actually, no, this is pretty good time your time. This is like 8 o'clock a.m. your time. You're probably on the Stairmaster right now on this live stream. Um, Someone was asking about, or someone accused me of knowing what Sony's about. If you want to know what Sony's about, ask this guy. This is not me. I don't got that kind of pull. Family first, yes, sir. Actually, I think what I want to do at 100,000 subscribers, I think I want to like do a podcast with just my dad, and just talk about like, because clearly, like being an immigrant kid, like you don't really think your kid's going to be a content creator and stuff like that. So I kind of want to see like what his insight is in terms of like how he kind of witnessed this whole thing go on, because he watches the channel. Like he might be in this live stream at some point, which would be hilarious. You're the best. Hey, respects, man. Sergey, thank you. 10 a.m. Just finished the gym. I'm actually gonna go at night. Like I don't know what it is, but post live stream night sessions, especially when it's legs, I feel quite nice, and then I pass out and go to sleep. I also like some of my face is coming back. I haven't really eaten like a ton of carbohydrates in the last couple of days, and it actually feels kind of good. Yes, sir. Mount Zion Media. There you go. And Jason Morris. Hey, you know what's hilarious is a super super throwback. If you guys remember Jason's podcast, I remember being on Jason's podcast at 1,700 subscribers. And now look at us. Look at us. Look at us filming and stuff. Are you buying the Ursa 12k because even the lower frame rates is giving you zero compromising? Aaron, okay, so some of you guys that are coming in right now, this is the part 2 of the live stream. Because I cut off the live stream to call my dad. But anyways, buying it, not sure yet. I think what's happening is Blackmagic's actually sending one over for a shoot that I have on the 20th, but I'm getting it 10 days early so I could prep with the camera, I could do lens tests, I could do all the other stuff, which will be on the channel either later on in February or like very, very early in March. But the idea for the Ursa 12k is kind of like a try before you buy, because I do have to give it back. I haven't decided yet. I think it kind of depends if I could replace like the smaller, financially more understandable, more compact cinema camera, 100%. Like it would make sense to go up to a 12k, but I also think I want to make sure that I lock in the jobs that require it. Right now, we're working on a big ad shoot with Trish Stratus for WWE. We have another shoot with Keon Coleman with a lot more time, and I want to make sure those things are locked down. The retainers for those companies are locked down before even like trying to invest into stuff like that. But if that happens, there'll be some signs, because you will see me with one. But I probably will shoot on it quite a bit as I work with Blackmagic on a bunch of different things, and I will rent the Ursa 12k whenever I can. Bring your pops on the stream. I gotta ask him. He might be down, to be honest with you. I think my mom would be more down to be on YouTube than I think my dad is. But I think what we're gonna do, because we're gonna do a little bit like of a mini doc for his birthday. But I think like the second it hits like 100,000 subscribers, especially if anyone here has like West African parents, like it's a really hard thing to get them to understand about like content creation at the start, I should say. So I think, African dude and his dad just talking about what he kind of, I guess, wanted for his son and where he ended up. So Brad drops from Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah, my friend. You're also in the streams all the time, man. It's crazy. AM here, but I love. Hey, respects. 3 a.m. God dang. 3 a.m. That's crazy. But respects. Getting that Laowa 10mm because of your video, I think it'd be perfect for music. Hey, yo, Killer Bees, yo. So if you want to get those like those old early 90s like hip hop vibes, like put it stationary. Like I did this in a video last year for a client. Just have it stationary, like up on a wall, like a high angle pointed down, and then get your talent to get like real close to it, and do the performance there. It'll look really dope. Whoa. You allow to say you're gonna get it early. I mean, it's on a new camera, so I'm not getting it early. I'm just maybe getting it sooner than I think I will. But I will get to test out the 12K, but not like the stripped down 12K. Like they're sending a full 12K kit. So, hey, I know this is about the 12M, but quick question about the Rode Wireless Pro. Think it worth it over the DJI Mic 2? Honestly, it's just a title, man. Most of the times when I start off with the title, we maybe talk about the title for like 10 minutes. And it just goes off the rails and it's crazy. I don't know about the Rode. For me, I've had issues with it getting good audio. I mean, at least my BTS shooter when we've mic'd myself up. But I have like 3 sets of the DJI Mic 2. So I mean, if that's any indication that I like one over the other, mind you, one of those 3 were given to me. I think they're great. So. How'd you land the products that you mentioned? So really, actually, we talked about this in a previous video about YouTube getting you work outside of YouTube. Earlier on, I guess, in the channel, I shot a ton of fitness stuff. And that was because, like, in Canada, I would shoot for magazines, different influencers, different supplement brands and stuff like that. And that landed me my first job with a supplement brand because I saw the stuff I post on social media. And then a second supplement brand that the photographer works with the first one ended up calling me to do the video production for the new brand that came out while it's still doing stuff for the original brand. So that was when we got our first shoot, and that was around the time of the DZO Arliss Primes. And then they liked that video, which was surprising because I thought it could have been way better if we had more time. And then they had the Keon Coleman shoot, and that came up, and then they liked that one, and now we have the Trish Stratus shoot. And then they're also opening a second company, so I'm doing video production for both. But effectively, it was kind of posting stuff on YouTube, really. Like, I knew the owners before, but I don't think they knew that I did video, I guess, at that, like, level, in a way. And when they saw it on YouTube, like, I've had a retainer for, like, 3 years with one client, and then the other one they just started, and they're opening a second. Have used a Z8, aka which is pretty special. I have not used a Nikon Z8. I just got the Z6 III. Like, it's here. It's the menu settings are dialed in. I just haven't used it yet. It's freezing outside, so I haven't had the time to go outside and shoot yet. And because of this Norway trip on Saturday, I've been just like planning for that, and then also just getting studios and stuff booked and getting all this other stuff for when I do come back to shoot a lot with it. But the Z8 haven't used yet. I would love to work with the Cooke S4s. I'm so excited. So also in the previous version of the stream, we were talking about this ad shoot, and Cooke reached out to do another shoot with the Cooke S4s on the Ursa 12k, and then grab the SB3s again for my Pixis because we're going to use them as a 2-camera setup. Pixis is going to be gimbal slider, kind of like handheld utility camera, where the Ursa 12k is going to be on sticks, most of it, and a little bit of easy rig work. You don't really need 12K, but having crazy FPS for 9K and 8K It's huge. Yeah, no one needs 12K. Okay, so for the Ursa 12K, the thing is, it's not to get 12K resolution or to export in 12K. It's all the other crap you can do because it's a 12K RGB sensor. The video that I made when it was like 3 in the morning, I realized that I did know what that sensor meant and what it, like, the actual details of it. I just didn't see it in person. But there was a live stream from last year when the Pixis came out, and they're explaining it to me how it works, and I'm like, that's super interesting. And they're saying, like, no one's really going to export in 12K. It's just all the other stuff that you can do, which is wild. Film your mom making jollof. If she allows me to do that, I've asked my family if they want to be in videos. My sister is in 2 videos this month. Rest of my family hasn't really agreed to it just yet. Actually, my sister just started her YouTube career getting a new camera the other day. She got the A6100. So now we're a YouTube family. So that is what it is. I wouldn't have a computer powerful enough to edit 12K without heavy proxies. Yeah, I don't think anybody does. I think to the point of, like, I think the workflow is going to be is that you have to make those proxies and then, like, ship it over there. My only thing is that, like, for this ad, I have a colorist that's helping out, and I also have an editor that's doing the commercial editing. So offloading footage is going to be tough. I don't know how we're going to do that yet. I'm using Resolve, so there's that, but, like, I have no idea. Eventually, anime ends up getting discussed. Yeah, we got deep into anime a little while ago. I'm still down for like anime watch parties while we're doing stuff, or while we're going through the stream. I think Sunday is the most appropriate day for anime live streaming. Hopefully, because I go to Norway and Italy back to back, almost back to back. Once I'm home more, which is, like, I guess Marchish, we'll be doing anime watch parties while live streaming. Jason Morris, are you switching to Nikon fully or just thought about it? Jason is, I think, in the same scenario as I am, where we have Sony cameras and other, like, and what's nice about some of these other brands, and, like, when we were talking to them, even like Lumix for a while was like, oh, we never asked you if you were interested in Lumix cameras because you thought we were exclusive with Sony. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm not really a Sony user per se. I'm a camera user. I just have Sony cameras. And I think Jason's in the same boat where he just wants to try new things in the same style and see if there's any difference, or just, like, exploring new systems, because all of them have, like, little tiny nuances that are really cool. We need you making a cinematic jollof video. All right, you know what? The people asked for it. Y'all want cinematic jollof? I'm gonna see if, like, my aunties or my mom wants to be in a video. We might just do something like that. I sent Dustin the CVP 1-hour tutorial because he's also thinking about it. Oh. We like the sound of that. The 12K, man, the 12K has a good enough readout, good enough resolution, and, like, has all the other things that you could expand it to, where I could see somebody having that camera for, like, 10 years. You may need Blackmagic Cloud. I am a very avid user of Blackmagic Cloud. If you want to know how all these videos get posted so much, is I have my editor, Zach. He helps cut down the A-roll. Some videos he takes on fully, but a lot of it is cutting down the A-roll, and we just use Blackmagic Cloud. We work on the videos at the same time, so it's released in half the time. What lens would you use for the 12K? So the lenses I have on the docket right now that I'm going to use for between, so the ad is going to be the Pancros and the SP3s on the 12K and the Pixis. I'm going to try to do as much as I can. I'm going to try to do 2 test shoots, two spec ads or, like, test shoots. One's going to be on the DZO Vespids. The other one's going to be my Blazar Remus lenses. So I'm going to see if I could squeeze those in effectively 12 days. But hopefully I can get through all 3 sets, because that'd be cool to see them all, like, kind of see them as you go. Proxies match that at 10-bit 1080, so the editing workflow is easy, but coloring is the hard part. Yeah, whoever's my colorist, Zaire, he's gonna have some time. He's gonna have a good time. Let's go, anime watch party solo. Yes, of course we are watching Solo Leveling. Anime is one of the best animes going out right now. But I found out, and I'm so mad because I don't have many days left until I get on a plane. Invincible Season 3, I think, just premiered with the first 3 episodes today. When you come to Nairobi, Kenya, I would love to work on a project with you here. I will be your first AC. I would love to. So right now, we were talking about this earlier too. We are doing a project in Ghana. I want to, at least. We're pitching it. And it's for setting up portable generators for off-grid African families. Bluetti already does it in a lot of countries. They just don't do it in Ghana. So we're trying to see if we can pitch documenting that. But if I'm in Kenya, 100%. I would love if Sony starts sending people to Kenya again. They would maybe consider one of the few West Africans with the YouTube channel posting often to go, or like get someone from Kenya. That'd be great. I mean, that'd be kind of a change of pace. I haven't really done much of that. Just joined. What's good, bro? Hey, what's up? Are you thinking about getting the Cine 12k base? Colin, if I'm going to buy any Ursa, it's going to be the base, because even I think if you buy the base and all the accessories, I think you still save $4,000. I'm heavily considering it. I think it depends on what other companies come out with in like a cinema camera that's the same form factor as the Pixis. So if something does come up, like if Sony decides to like crash out and say like, hey, we're releasing the FX6 Mark II, I'll sell the Pixis, get the Ursa, and then I might also I might get the FX6 Mark II if it does come out. But who knows? I don't think it's going to come out this year. But heavily considering it. I get to try it out on an ad shoot for a couple of days from Blackmagic, and that'll help me make that decision from there. For your editing, what do you use, desktop or laptop? I use a laptop. What specs do you recommend to use? I would say like I have 32 gigabytes of RAM on this guy, and I'm using an M2. I think that cut my lip a little bit. I'm using an M2 with 32 gigs of RAM. I forget if it's Prime or Netflix who had a feature you can click in for watch party. Oh, yeah, Greg, you have to tell me more about that, because I want to try that if we can do it. So Kofi, the Ghana trip sounds like an amazing experience. Need some BTS and a drone op. I'll pay my own way. Oh, okay. Maybe carry a bag for them. Planning my first trip to the motherland this summer. Yo, okay. First of all, let me know what country you're going to. If you're going to anywhere in West Africa, do it in December. That's all I'm gonna say. You're welcome. Do it in December, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Deti December is a life-changing experience, because it's basically African Burning Man, but it's a whole country. Put that on a shirt. You're not a brand user, you're a camera user. Hey, say it again with capital letters. But yeah, that's kind of one of the things that like I think my channel is evolving into, is that like I have a particular style, a particular subject matter that I like shooting. I just like shooting more cameras to do that with. It's fun. And also like a lot of people like not everyone has a Sony FX6. And that was kind of what like I got the FX30 about. And that's kind of what started the whole thing. Before I only had an FX6 and a 3. And a lot of people were like, yeah, I love this information, but like it's not applicable to me. I can't afford that camera. So I went and got a smaller camera and did kind of the same things. And that helped out a lot. And then there were some people like, well, this is great information, but like I have a Lumix, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't have a Lumix. I don't even know how to use one. So I would just try the same styling. And there's a lot of valuable information you get there, but like for better or for worse, some people will only retain as much information if there's a little bit of familiarity in there. And me talking about exposure for skin tones or whatever, but I'm using a Sony camera and you have a Nikon on your desk, like it's kind of hard to do. So I like that idea. Yeah, I'm not a brand user. I'm just a camera user. And the camera almost, in that respect, the camera doesn't matter, right? It just depends on the context of the job, and it's not always the same camera. Thoughts on buying a Burano and partly paying for it by renting a few times a year. SLS Audio Studio Productions. If you have renters already on deck, like if you even have like a few that might be frequent renters, I'd say that's a good investment. But I would say if you don't have those type of industry contacts, don't buy a camera with the intention of renting it, or you'll be making a mistake. Like I consigned mine at a rental house, and for like in the months that I thought I was going to rent out a ton, it didn't. Mind you, that was like the winter time, so it wasn't a great idea either. But like it didn't go up that much, and I would say I would probably go for it to use it first. And if you have those industry contacts, it makes a lot of sense. But if you don't, I wouldn't think, like, people aren't just going to find you randomly to get the Burano from you unless you're doing a lot of marketing for it. Or you partner with a rental house and then you go splits on it. Hey, what up, James Jackson? We need an uncut video of you packing for production day. And what do you prioritize when it comes up to picking gear? Aaron, so this ad sheet that we have with Trish, the BTS is going to be about an hour and a half long. I talked to my editor. I talked to myself, but every step through the process, like I'm doing a different clip for like each part of the process. So tomorrow I'm gonna film like how to have better concept calls, and then I'm gonna film like the bill note, and then I'm gonna film the packing. So everything is like sectioned off, and it's just gonna be in a gigantic video. Like it's gonna be. I have no idea how long it's gonna be. The most I think it could be is 10 hours, but that's coming up. It's just gonna be in a gigantically long format. But I'll put chapter markers. So there's that. Will full frame cover the entire sensor? Yeah, it's still full. I'm assuming the Ursa 12k. You mean it's still a full frame sensor? It's a full frame 12k sensor, which is still insane. Would be cool to see you do boxing and MMA content if we start with pro wrestling. I've been boxing for a bit. Actually, I had to freeze my gym membership for the club that I'm at because I'm not going to be here. MMA, I gotta walk before you run, and that's one of the big things I realized with boxing is like I still don't think I'm good to spar yet. I don't think I'm technically sound. I could use a lot more conditioning in terms of being able to like fight someone who has great conditioning, especially because I'm a bigger dude. But I've been going for like a year, and the technique is good. But maybe eventually. For now, you're gonna just see me lifting, really. Are you a watcher of One Piece? I'm going to be so real with you. I'm not. And I'm not because it's a gigantic commitment. Like I would say it took me a long time to even like get to Bleach. Because 1,000 Year Blood War came out and I saw the first couple episodes and I'm like, crap, I have no idea what's going on. So I watched all of Bleach until the latest episode. One Piece that's a big commitment, man. One Piece is a gigantic commitment. I'm just not ready for it yet. And also like I have bills to pay, so like I can't watch that much anime at once. Hey, what's going on, my dude? I love that there's like a lot of very familiar faces in these live streams all the time, which is really cool. Because ironically enough, I actually lose subscribers every time I do one of these. Might be heading to Burundi to do a dock in the water. Ooh, okay. Let's go. I love travel docs. I just haven't gotten in. I love watching them. I want to be part of them. I just haven't found out how to get into that world of things. But truthfully, like with this whole YouTube thing, you could be in rooms that you had no business in. But because you have sort of like a built-in audience and a skill set, it's easier to have those conversations. The watch party feature is on Netflix. Okay, I'm gonna check that out and see how that works. How about only likes 4 people? Only 4 likes. What's going on here? How many people are here? 39. Yeah, run them up. I don't care how many people get into the stream. It might never cross 40. I don't care. But run the likes up. Can we let me know when you want to build a water-cooled PC to edit that 12K footage? Never. I'm saying Mac for the rest of my life. I got an Apple tattoo. I don't have an Apple tattoo anywhere. I mean, they tattooed themselves on my credit card statements, that's for sure. But also, heard Nikon is going to be releasing some modern cinema glass and a retro vintage looking glass. Shoot the AISs. And I'm stoked to have dedicated glass for them. I heard about that too, and I think one of the things we were talking about, like when the acquisition happened, I was like, Nikon makes some of the best lenses. In terms of like lens quality, they make some of the best glass. It would be cool if they just decided to do the thing that we've begged Sony to do, but they haven't. And we begged Sony to have like, instead of like a G Master line, instead of a G line, like a heritage line, or like a lens have a little bit more character, but it still has autofocus, but it has like a little bit of charm to it. And we were told no, that's probably never going to happen. If Nikon does it, then other companies might follow suit. But it would be really cool to see Nikon come out with cinema glass, because Nikon and Red separately, I think, have their own cinema lenses at some point or another. Any guidance on insurance on camera gear? Any suggestions? Depends on what country you're in. I use Front Row Insurance, which I guess is Intact now. Intact was same as my car insurance. But yeah, I would just pretty much get that. Get renter's insurance in case you rent things out, and get a bigger policy than what you need. That would be my my advice for those. But also depends on your country, because I don't know where you're at, because that'll dictate which companies are available. Sorry to get your hopes up. Out of April 2nd, 2024 option, Tosa Watch Party is no longer available. That is crap, and I hate that. I don't like that at all. I think it's 12K open gate. It is 12K open gate, bro. It's 12K open gate at 12 milliseconds readout, which I think is like FX3 or FX6, or maybe a bit more, but like 12K at open gate, less than 20 seconds. That's wild. That's insane. I don't care if it's not global. Don't care. 12K with that, and then no crop 8K down. No, bro. For $7,000, they put it to a price where it's almost irresponsible not to consider it. That's what they did. My question is, why does millennial content creators master the art of post-production and really learn how to shoot properly? Also, I feel like you don't have I don't know. Ask them. This is kind of a weird question, man. I'll be so honest with you, man. I think the things that millennial content creators like are going to be different than most other generations, or just it's going to be specific to their generation. So I think they're like, content creation is audience tracking, right? So if I do a thing and there's a positive response, I'll probably keep doing that thing. So for me to kind of come down and say people are doing things improperly when it's gaining a result wouldn't be wise for me to say. Also, it wouldn't be entirely true. And no, you don't have to shoot in 4K or 6K, and 1080p is fine. The thing about the Ursa 12K is the things that you can do when you downsample those things in terms of frame rates and also using oversampled footage and all the other stuff. So it's not that, like, I want to make it abundantly clear, and this is coming from Blackmagic as well. It's not the fact that you're going to export in 12K. It's all the other stuff that the 12K sensor enables you to do. Man, watch while on your flight. Actually, not a bad idea, because I think the travel time I have for Norway is 18 hours. It's going to suck. It's not as long as Japan, though. Japan took 36. Rick Rill, what camera does everybody have in the chat to use for film and just for fun? Oh, what camera does everybody in the chat use to film just for fun? My phone. I use the Lumix S9 and the DJI Osmo Pocket, like the Action and the Pocket, quite a bit for like just fun stuff that never see the light of day. I have those two. S9 is still a camera I use on a super regular basis, even like since that Japan trip, because it still has a lot of power for something so tiny. In fact, I think that's the only camera I'm going to bring with me to Norway outside of the cameras we got to shoot our projects on. Might use, sorry, I got the, okay, perfect. Yeah, Osmo Pocket 3, man, like, it's a price where, like, it's a cool thing to have. It's less than a lens, and it can do a lot. We can do a watch party on Discord. Not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, C400 Pixis is the question. Looking for my next full-frame upgrade. Currently on the Blackmagic 6K Pro. I do documentaries and commercial work. Hey, I notice a lot of people in Africa, or actually just people just like not in the West, have Blackmagic cameras. And it might be kind of because of the price and the availability, but like when I was in Ghana, tons of people had 6K Pros, like a ton. In Sony's and Blackmagic 6Ks. Yeah, there you go. FX30. What's a good method for matching footage with Blackmagic and the Red Komodo? So I did a video on this like a while ago, like 2 years ago. I don't know if it's updated for those two cameras, but I would try Cinematch by Film Convert. I was able to get the FX30 to get pretty close to the Venice. So if it could do that, then I think you can get the Blackmagic and the Komodo to be closer, especially because they're both in RAW too. So and they're like the 6K Pro. Oh, 6K Pro is still 12-bit Blackmagic RAW. The Komodo's 16-bit, 16 or something like that. So I think you can. You have enough flexibility. You can get them really close together. If what was it? Thor: Love and Thunder used Blackmagic full-frame 6Ks for some of their VFX plates. If they can get those two to match up, I think you get the Red Komodo and the 6K Pro to match up. How's the Action 4 been for BTS? I've been using it for BTS, and I've also been using it for... Crap, you guys make me ruin my own videos, man. I have a location scout tomorrow, and I'm only going to use the... Like, I'm going to use the GFX for photos, for location photos, but I'm going to use the Action 5 and the Osmo for location scouting stuff. That's where I think it's going to be super handy for me. And also when I want to get, like, BTS just, like, mounting it to the camera, I think it'll be cool. That video is going to take a bit longer because some shoots got pushed around a bit. Gotta head out. Super cool chatting. Actually, watch that 3-watch. 9 3-watch? Oh, God. Respects, man. Thanks for coming to the stream. My phone comes 11-year-old Fuji X100. Dang. My only experience with Fuji cameras is that GFX 50R and the 100 Mark II. Talk about telepathy Chrome extension for Watch Party, formerly Netflix Party. If you guys figure out this whole, if you figure out the watch party feature, I'm 1000% down. Literally picked up the third. Oh, hey, okay, okay. There's a lot of FX30 people out here, and I didn't realize that till recently. But then also that makes a lot of sense. So there's that. Ursa 12k talking again. So just to recap, so I will be getting it next week. My way back from Norway. We're going to be doing a couple tests on it. My question for you guys, because there's a couple things I have to do. There's one, I'm going to do like a first impression, shoot a bunch of like spec stuff and test footage. Because I also need just like previs and stuff like that and testing stuff for this ad shoot that's on the 19th. Would you prefer that I separate the lens kind of stuff per video, or just put the Blazars, DZOs, and the Pancros in one video? Because I haven't really decided what I want to do yet, because I didn't expect this camera to show up, and I got an email this morning, so I'm not really sure how I want to do things and put it in a digestible way. Most filmmakers and advocates shoot on Blackmagic because of the price point and what you get feature-wise. Okay, that makes sense. That makes total sense. And it also has a cooling system, so like if you're in 40-degree weather, you should be okay. Nate on YouTube, do you color grade? I absolutely do. Not as a freelance colorist. I'm junior at best. But I do grade my own stuff 99% of the time. Certain projects, people like streams like these are cool because the community will be like, hey, I'm a pro colorist and I'll do your next project. And then I'll send it to them and then they do a great job. And then they make me look really good. So there's that. Good afternoon, Blind 7. Nice to see you. Although that wasn't a pun because your name is Blind 7. But nice to see you, man. For BTS, have you thought about using the Insta360 X4 full coverage BTS? No, I haven't, and I don't know if I think it might be my own fears of it, but I'm not good at editing 360 footage, so I don't take the time to figure it out because I'm afraid I'm gonna screw it up, and I don't know how to do it, and because I don't know how to do it, I avoid it. It's not that the camera's bad; it's because it's my own inadequacies, and I don't want to come to terms with those things. That was me being brutally honest. I don't know how to do it, so. Damn, even your live camera crate looks dope. Yeah, this is the built-in LUT. I made a viewing LUT for this, and I just like when you stream on the Pixis, and we're gonna do a video on this. It's in collaboration with Desky, but I'm gonna talk about the live stream setup for this one because it is kind of cool. Because everything that you put on camera, when you go through SDI, it will transmit to your computer. And if you have Ecamm Pro, what you can do is you could actually stream up to 4K. Except on YouTube, it doesn't let you stream in 4K. At least it doesn't on mine. I don't know how to get it to do it. I still shoot most of my video on the Nikon D850. That is commitment. That's commitment. And a second, we got Ron Coy. I just love the footage I get of the Blackmagic cameras. Likewise, we're shooting on one right now. It makes this look nice and chocolatey. I would love to get the Ursa 12k. I'm trying to book enough shoots to make that happen. Same here. Absolutely same here. I'm super lucky where I get to try stuff out from different brands before I decide if I want to spend money on them. And this Ursa 12k is going to be a cool experience to try it out. I think I'm going to get very, very attached. I think I'm going to try it. I don't mind how big of a camera it is as long as I have a secondary camera to back it up. So I'm very liable to make a financially irresponsible decision. I just hope I don't make it. I hope it's not financially irresponsible. I hope I make the decision. I just hope it's not something that will bankrupt me. I hope not. What did you say about the C400 or the Pixis currently in the Blackmagic 6K looking for a full frame issue document? Oh, sorry. I don't. You think I read that. And I don't think I answered it properly. If you're someone who's on running gun stuff and you don't like pulling focus, or like it really is a running gun shoot where like you are shooting film verite and you're sprinting around hoping to God you get the best that you can, I would get a C400. Mostly because of its autofocus. If you're someone who does a lot, like if your documentaries are more planned out and you find yourself on sticks a bit more, then I would get the Pixis. I will say I like the image on the Pixis better. To be fair, considering I've only used a C80, but I did find between the C80 and the Pixis, I like the Pixis more than the C80, and I used it on the same shoot. Yeah, the Insta360 workflows. Yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot of heavy lifting, man. And also, like, it's an involved edit. I would rather just bring my Action 5 and my Osmo Pocket 3. Would you be able to do critiques of some of our work we could submit? I would be interested in doing that. It might be a membership thing. Actually, let me ask that now. Like, would it always looks like I had a thing in my face. Would you guys want like a membership tier where I do video critiques? The reason why is because like I think based on how many people that would come in, it would take a super, super, super long time to get all of them done. And I have to make that up somehow because I still have to do work outside of doing these live streams and yapping for 2 hours. But I might be able to do that. That'd be cool. Also 5K on a raid, so I gotta wait. Yo, I got mine in 2021. It took me like 2 years to get it to, I think it's like 70 gigabytes now. And I got like 8 left. So I feel you. And they're expensive. Like there's no cheap way to get a raid system unless someone gives it to you, which hopefully one day. Hang on a second. We got a super chat. Hey, Norway Protein Bar Fund. Hey, hang on a second. If you guys are in Canada, I actually hang on. One sec. We're talking protein bars. I'll show you protein bars. So if you are in Canada or if you're in the States, I got these. It's called Darryl bars. These are 22 grams of protein, only 4 grams of sugar, all natural ingredients. So these have to be refrigerated or they go bad. They're out of Windsor. So if you're in Detroit, you could probably get those as well. Incredible bars. They're small. They taste just like kind of solidified peanut butter, but also like super low in calorie. I think they're like 200-ish. I think it's like 200-ish. Yeah, for one bar, it's like 200 calories. I'm going to be bringing these to Norway with me. And that $13.99 actually pays for like half a box. Like they're not expensive. I think they're $32. And because it's a natural ingredient in Canada that's Canada made, you don't pay taxes on it. When you consult with clients at the beginning of their projects, what type of critical info are you looking for? I'm looking for scope, scale, references. So I'll slow that down. One is I'm trying to find references because references are probably the biggest one. It'll give me an idea of the scope and scale that this client is working for. And also, like, how do I know that I'm doing a good job? I think that's one of the big things. Like, how do I know at the end of the day when I deliver the project, like, what looks like a success to them? I would also take in, like, obviously there's budgets and stuff like that, but budgets usually come second when you get the scope because you can't really determine a budget without that. What else is there? What else did we talk about? We talked a little bit about creative in terms of what we were going to do. I wish I did record that call the concept call that I had for the ad with Trish. I don't think I'm going to play it because I don't think it's okay with everybody that I do that. But yeah, a lot of things just finding out the scope and scale and sizing up what the project's going to be. And that way you come with like a budget, not even the same day, honestly. Like I came up with a budget like 2-3 days later when I started looking at stuff. And I still have to do a little bit of fine tuning, which is why I'm location scouting tomorrow. But realistically, finding out like what's a home run and reference footage. Like if you could get references from your client in terms of what they want things to look like on the other end, it's a way easier communication than them telling you vibes and weird other buzzwords like that. Thoughts on the Zcam, especially the F6 in 2025? I've never used one. I've never actually used a Zcam, so I get really apprehensive about having opinions on cameras that I've never used. Outside of like whatever I know that's on paper, I know nothing about Zcam. My production company uses the Blackmagic 6K buffer for personal stuff. I use a DA50. Yeah. But I cannot wait to get the Pixis as soon as I can afford it. Yeah, no man, like it's a fun camera, and I want like once the monitor comes out, which is something that I think everybody's waiting for. I think it'll be more of my, because it's like, I mean, it's not small, but it's small enough I could travel with it. But I do need a monitor. The monitor needs to come out ASAP. Love the look of the Pixis, but currently own the Blackmagic 6K G2 with a set of Cine Super 35 glass. Hang on. What would be your first full frame? If you have a Super 35 glass, I would just get the full frame equivalent of the Super 35, and then the one you pick is the one you use the most. I hope that made sense. I think that was an easy answer. I might have actually gotten that wrong. Please do a membership tier with your tea. Take my money. It wouldn't be a lot of money, to be honest with you. I've thought about doing memberships. I think my big thing is because there's a lot of travel, there's a lot of projects. It's hard for me to like realistically come to terms of how well I can maintain them. So, hopefully after this Norway trip, after Italy, I'll start looking at like what's a realistic schedule for these things, and then kind of go from there. Yeah, a second light. Is it a light? No, it's just a mark on my head. Check out Timbaland's IDO. He's reviewing people's music in a dope way. People pay to submit their music for Timbo to share. Ooh. Some of it's trash, but some of it's actually good. But good feedback for him. Yeah, there's another dude in the music industry that I think he streams and he just does critiques, reviews, and I think even like reproduces some people's stuff. I might do that. I'm obviously not gonna do that because that'll take forever to edit. But I think that'd be cool to kind of go through people's projects. Keep in mind, like I'm gonna make this very clear. I'm not the best DP in the world. There are things that I still have a lot to learn. But if it helps people, then yeah, I don't see a problem with it. Yeah, you need to add that to the membership. It should be a group critique because it's easier to come to grips with change in film school when I heard the same critique from different people. Yeah, that's fair. Rick, I think the hard part with the doing critiques on the internet versus doing critiques in person is that you are accountable to the things that you say and do. With film school, when you had critiques, like the person that didn't like something about your work is sitting in front of you. So there was an air of like, I have to play this honest. I can't just say critiques for the sake of having an opinion. And I think sometimes on the internet when you put out work, some people might be just like having a bad day and they decide to take it out in your short film, which I don't want to be the curator of that community. So I think some sort of order has to be there. But then again, I guess when you're paying for it, I guess you wouldn't just go there to troll people unless someone has money like that. So that's fair. All-time favorite movie. Really appreciate the content. Visa. Thank you, first of all. Favorite movie. Four Brothers. Four Brothers. If you guys ever watch Four Brothers and you want to cry, that's a scene you will cry. And if you haven't seen Four Brothers and you're not prepared, you will cry. You'll bawl your eyes out. That's all I'm gonna say. Another thing the Shill Team 6 can do is a pro versus noob. We always make Cam shoot spherical lenses and only with Rec 709 LUT. That'd be wild. Actually, what's hilarious though, when you shoot in the desert, and I realized this from watching Cam, is the reason why, like, everything looks so good because everything also matches natural skin tones. When I'm in like Toronto, asphalt is black, the sky is like the light reflecting off of it is blue. My face is neither of those two colors. Things don't look as good. When you're in a place where everything is around the same color as skin tones, everything looks great. You don't have to worry about like balancing colors and stuff like that. So it's like, and when we are in the desert, like it is super easy to get really good stuff too. So that's no knock on Cam. He does an amazing job. I'm just jealous because he always has good locations and always has perfect lighting all the time. And then in Canada, you can't shoot 6 months out of the year outside. I want you to get you and Mr. Washington together to work on some commercial horror projects. Don't know why, but I think it'd be fun. That'd be dope. I haven't been to Texas. I think the last time I was in Texas when I saw Brandon was the Red event last year. Actually, it was the day before Nikon bought Red. That would be dope. Oh, you were on his live stream. I got to check out your horror work. I think Brandon said something was really dope, and I haven't looked at it yet, but I will take a look at that before the end of the week. I've never shot horror, never in my life, so that'd be kind of fun. Hey Trey, respects, bro. Four Brothers is a movie. They got Andre 3000, Mark Wahlberg. I forgot who plays the youngest brother, and I forgot who plays the other brother. I can't remember the other two, but that movie's a really good one. That is a real gangster movie. It'll make you cry though. That like you know what scene I'm talking about. You know exactly what scene and to what character. And Tyrese, yeah, you're right. Okay, it's Tyrese. Okay, that's what I'm dumb. I never want to hear the words that came out of the youngest brother's mouth in that scene from a real person because it burned into my brain for like 6 months. I was traumatized watching that scene, but you know exactly which one. I'll grip on a Brandon Washington and Kofi horror collab. We might have a crew going on. I'm not good with actors. I'm sorry. I would love to see Kobe and Mark Bone do a collab on a project with BTS as well. Hope I'm not asking for too much. Two of my faves from Canada, but also at Danny Gravitz in the group chat. So fun fact. I'm walking distance from Mark's office, and I've worked with Mark a bunch of times actually. Mostly doing like BTS and making his thumbnails, or like cam mopping for some stuff for AOD. But I worked with Mark a bunch of times. I think just like we're both busy and he's not in the country. I'm also really jealous about the Sebum doc that he did, because the person that shoots with Sebum, I owned a production company with until he moved to Florida, and I'm salty about it that I wasn't invited. But also it makes sense because I don't live in Florida. That was just me being facetious and petty. But yeah, that'd be cool. Life Aquatic is the greatest movie ever made. I don't know, man. That's some tough words. I would highly recommend. You know what is a really great movie, a really great documentary, and I think one of my favorites and got me into watching docs. Rise. If you know about if you know about dance movies, go watch Rise. If you know about dance movies and you like documentary, watch Rise. That's a movie. All of us coming together to make a film. I think it'd be cool. Like, someone would have to kind of like not draw the short straw, but some of us would have to be like grips and swings. But I think it'd be cool. I'm in Houston, so we come down here. I'm ready to go as crew. Hey, I think I don't know if I'm supposed to be in Houston anytime soon. I think so, but I could be lying. But I am going to the States quite a bit this year. I haven't seen it in a minute. Yeah. Mark Wahlberg is the least Mark Wahlberg movie I think I've watched, and like in a good way. Okay, so what you're saying is I gotta go to Texas. All right, cool. I could consider going to Texas. Yep, this one right here, but also like, oh god. I'm sorry. It has one of the most iconic yet traumatizing scenes, and like not in a weird gory way. But because like my thing with Four Brothers is that they establish all four characters really really well until something happens to one of the characters, and like that's what I kind of miss with movies, where like when you get to know a character, like you spend enough time with them where if anything happens, you're emotionally invested. Where now you watch movies and you get the character for like 8 minutes, something happens and you're supposed to care, but then you don't because they've been there for 8 minutes, so it's kind of tough. Which is why like Marvel comic movies, depending on which movie, do really well. For example, like Deadpool and Wolverine, you spent like, assuming you've seen the other Deadpools, you've spent so much time with Deadpool, and Wolverine's been a character for like 20 years. So there's already that kind of like relationship a little bit. So when anything does happen, it's more so they played on the funny part of it because like Wolverine's not dying and neither is Deadpool. They both can't. But you're a little bit more emotionally invested in the things they do and say because you spent so much time with them. But now some of these new characters, like I watched Agatha All Along, and it was dope. It was cool. But like, I don't care about Billy. I don't care about his struggle. Nothing about Billy is interesting to me, except for seeing how like Marvel Comics strong he is, right? But outside of that, like, you're not meant to care. It's weird that I'm a documentary filmmaker that doesn't like watching documentaries. I mean, not really. I mean, I played football since I was 11, and I barely watched the NFL. So, I mean, that's fair. So we're talking about Wes Anderson, and The Color Grade does it. I'm also a Kubrick nerd. Oh, Kubrick nerd. I keep forgetting which movie it is, but I watched a Wes Anderson film that was like recent, and I don't remember what it's called, and it's really bugging me because we were talking about this before, and I really liked the movie. Totally forgot what it's called. I was saying about Billy. Yeah, like he didn't do anything. He did stuff, kind of, and like the twist was cool, but like I don't care about him as a character. I wanted to see Agatha. Agatha had some bangers though. The Witch's Road, the remix, yeah. But like outside of that, like I don't care. Got a bunch of people here working as crew. I'm about to run sound on a shoot for a commercial soon. I need to get more in touch with more sound people in Toronto. I only know like 2. Also, either the wind blew real hard because my house just shook. My whole house. And I'm supposed to drive to the gym today. It might take my car away. But yeah, so Ursa 12k stuff. I am very heavily considering it for a couple of different reasons, and like, that's not to say like, hey, drop your Pixuses and also do the same thing that I'm doing. But the Ursa 12k, with the limitations that it has in the body only, still makes a ton of sense for a camera for $7,000. Because if you have a comparable, your comparable is the Red Komodo. That's also $7,000, I believe. But obviously you're going to get that sensor. Yeah, it's not global, but you're still going to get a full frame, open gate, anamorphic support, easy to navigate menus. And also you can grow into that system. I feel like with the Komodo, when I had it, what you get, like once you've gotten your accessories, like where's your upward mobility in terms of like building it out to what you need it for. The Ursa gives you the ability to do that. And even if you build it out to the much as you can, you're still spending less money than almost every other camera in that kind of form factor. For example, like I would put, like if I was to get, say, a Venice 1 or an Ursa 12K, from using one of them, I would be just as happy on either, and I would consider them in the same space a little bit, but one is a heck of a lot cheaper than the other one is. So there's stuff like that. So that's attractive to me. But also, like, when the Pixus came out, I was looking, I'm like, what's this Ursa 12K saying? And I didn't have anything on the readout or anything, and when it came out, I'm like, Blackmagic, I love the Pixus. It's great, but, like, what's that Ursa saying? So it's interesting. It's just the fact that it's heavy. The 8 terabyte, like, things you have to put in there is going to get expensive, although buying 3 1 terabyte CF Express Type B cards, or 4 of them, I'd say, probably get up to the same price. But yeah, we'll see. It's a big heavy camera, but it has great image quality. I'm going to bring it on a few shoots and we'll see how it goes. Gotta go. It's 4 a.m. in Nairobi. I'll watch the upload. Man, God bless you for being here at 3 in the morning. But yeah, take care, man. Have a good day. Northern winds is creeping. Yeah, you guys. So I heard it's snowing out in Texas. I want the Ember 5. Yo, okay. So we used the Ember 5, I think, for No Good Legend last year, and like randomly Lee was like, "Hey, we should get the shot in like 1,000 frames a second or something like that." And it was like a gun shooting. I have no other reason to get this camera, but it's cool. Like it's a dope. Like that would be a camera someone asked earlier, where if you like, hey, you want to buy a camera that you want to invest in renting out, an Ember would be a good one because it's such a specials camera, and solo operators probably aren't going to own one themselves. So getting something like an Ember that you could put into a rental house and consign it, or just like advertise it, would be really cool. Readout speeds in the 8K and 4K and the Ursa Cine are insane. The frame rate, yeah, it's actually gross. It's actually like it's not global shutter. It's closer you're gonna get at that resolution for that price. You just have to deal with a big form factor. I will probably look like I'm manhandling the thing. Don't do that. Those are one of the things with the Ursa 12K that you have to be aware of. Is like it's a big camera. You can get other configurations to get it to work, and also like if you want to use the smaller V mounts, I think you only get 60 frames a second, which isn't the worst thing in the world. You limit your frame rates depending on the battery you use, just for the processing power and stuff. But it's a big boy. She's a big boy. The stronger winds with Sony huffing and puffing at your house because I heard you're thinking of getting under some 12K. It's funny because like the Sony rep that I work with, he's in the chat. Like he's in the streams, and like I text him all the time. We talk all the time. And every time I say like, hey, that Ursa 12K looks kind of good, he's like, hey, just send me a DaVinci Resolve code and we'll be square about it. But also like Sony's aware like other cameras are coming out and cheaper and stuff like that. But for them really, after signing that NFL contract, like, yes, you can buy the 12K and the Pixus and the Red Komodos and all that other stuff. But like, say you want to shoot at the NFL at a high level, which is a gigantic contract. The NFL's a gigantic league, and everyone's got to have Sonys there for official games. Do I need to compete with you in certain things? Now, that's not to say like Sony shouldn't make another camera and be complacent because they have one contract, but like, I think they're just playing a different game. Do a collab with the slow-mo guys. If I get the clout, if I had the clout to work with the slow-mo guys, I would. No Snow Heroes 80 and Tyler, Texas. Okay, hang on a second. Tyler, Texas is a real place because I've watched Friday Night Live. It's Friday Night Lights. And I'm pretty sure, no, Tyler, Texas, Josh Cornish from the Calgary Stampeders, running back for like 8 years from Tyler, Texas. North American was what? Yeah, no, I'm so, like, the worst part is I'm going to Norway where it's not any better. But then Italy's going to be dope. But yeah, no, North American weather in February is absolutely wild. Ursa City in 12K is going to be hard to outdo for these camera companies in 2025. Yes. I think one of the things that's going to end up happening, though, is that cameras are going to try to get as close as they can, but smaller. Because one of the things that it's going to be tough for the Ursa 12K is going to be the size and file size. Because one of the things when I was talking about, one of the things I was talking to one of my buddies with who did a lot of like broadcast work, and he was the first IC for music videos and stuff, was he was very attracted to the size of the files in like the Burano, because it's a little bit smaller because you can get those smaller file sizes. Where the Ursa, I think you're only shooting in Blackmagic RAW. You might get ProRes, I think. I don't know. Michael Tobin's in the building. He might be telling me, can you get ProRes on the 12K? He actually has the Ursa 12K on him right now. Can you get ProRes on it? But if you can't, then like the competitive thing that other brands can do is just release a camera for $500 cheaper, make it a lot smaller, and make the codecs more digestible. And then at least you have an option there for some people that aren't interested in getting a giant Ursa. It's big. Actually, Tobin, since you have it, on a scale of 1 to huge, how big is that camera? Negative, B-RAW only. So you are stuck at shooting in B-RAW. So if you use any other editing program or anything like that, it's not going to work as well. And that's where you're going to get those things where brands could kind of say like, hey, well, at least you could use ours on Premiere Pro and Final Cut, the inferior NILEs. Sony dominating the broadcast world. Absolutely. They're cheap. They're cheap. They're accessible. Giant ecosystem, so everyone can get one. And whether they're running a small team or a big team, it's easier. Yes, sir. So, Tobin, you got to get on the anamorphic SHILL streams. Also, we're just hanging out. I feel like some of you guys are coming in here for like very in-depth information. I'm just here to talk crap and talk about projects and stuff. Yeah, I can't say. Here's the thing, Blind Seven. Sony's whole MO is to make bigger cameras smaller. That's exact from the horse's mouth. That's why you're going to keep getting smaller and smaller lenses and camera bodies. You could break them out if you want to, but their whole thing is to make like as big as a concept, very, very tiny. Kobe brother would love to collaborate with you. Need more context on what, for what, when, and where. Do you have scripts? Do you have concepts? What are you talking about? Where are we going? What are we talking about? You can get ProRes if you use the video assist. Yes. Thing is, you have to get a video assist, which, I mean, isn't the worst thing in the world when you're buying a cinema camera, but I could see people having points of contention about that because they want to use a different monitor or something like that. Proxer H.265, I think, but you're not going to want to use those. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's gonna be annoying. Yeah, so if you're not using DaVinci Resolve, good luck with editing. It'll suck. I'm pretty sure BMD's latest camera only have B-RAW. Yeah, so Mike confirmed. Yeah, it's only B-RAW now. It's beefy once you put those giant 24-volt batteries. I love the size, but if your into mirrorless camera is a small body, it's not for you. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, and that makes sense. That makes total sense. I definitely thought it like it's a big boy. It's a big boy camera. I would say if you are only gonna have one cinema camera, I personally wouldn't be the Ursa 12K. I would, like, if you have multiple cameras, I think it'll be fine. Hang on a second. I'm just here to say that Kofi forced me to buy a new Sony 16-35 Mark II because he wouldn't sell me his lens. Thanks again for the dash cam giveaways. Much greatly appreciated. Absolutely, man. So Edmund actually won the dash cam video and the Vantry video a little while ago. We are just waiting for Chinese New Year to end so they could email us back in terms of how to send that to you. Also, I didn't make you do anything. I was originally selling my 16-35 f4, and Edmund, I guess, rage quit and bought a 16-35 Mark II. That's twice the price. I'm not mad at it, as long as he's my affiliate link. I have a few concepts and scripts. Also, I'd love to do a vlog with you for a day. That would be kind of tough to do. I also have no idea where you live. That'd be kind of tough to do, but maybe eventually, possibly. I used an FX3 not long ago on our 21 Days of Horror trailer. Oh, okay. Felt like I was using a toy and we had to rig it out. And have menus. If you think Sony menus are rough, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I like, so the Nikon, even like out of the screen, looks really good. I've never felt dumber using their menus. I had no idea what I was doing. There's a ton of different things that are in different places that are confusing for me. That's probably because it's the first time I used a Nikon camera. But I felt stupid the entire time I was using it. Oh my goodness. There's a hell of a lot of people here. Okay. If you guys ever make your dream project, would it be for TV or theaters? To be fair, it'd be whoever gives me the most amount of money. Also, like if it's a dream project, I don't think it would matter. So both and neither at the same time, kind of. Looking forward to you covering those Nikon cameras. I'm excited. I've never used one. Getting used to it is very confusing as someone who's never used it. I feel like I don't know how to use cameras when I use one, which I'm hoping I kind of get over in the next couple of days. Lumix didn't take that long, so I'm hoping Nikon doesn't either. Using 7K, well, it wouldn't exclusively be for ProRes. So, for example, if you have clients that like don't use DaVinci Resolve, ProRes would make a lot of sense. Because there are some people that still use like Premiere Pro and Final Cut, and they prefer to use ProRes. Also, ProRes deliverables for things like sports and stuff like that are very, very common. It would be cool if someone Blackmagic, I'm looking at you, made a video recorder that did ProRes with a tiny screen to check pictures, but not intended as a monitor. Yeah, that actually would be dope. Thing is though, like to be able to control like your compression ratios and all that other stuff, I don't know how you would do that, and not just like make a monitor instead. The stream looks better today. Real smooth. Pause, no titty. That's because I changed the angle up a little bit. So before I was in the back corner shooting this way, and now I'm just exactly where my desk would be. So like right now you could see like my laptop and everything is right over here. All that other fun stuff. I'm going to put that back because now I'm not in the center of the frame. TV. Horror does well on TV. That's true. I'm from Arkansas, but to my other way. But let's make it happen. We'll see. I generally don't do like collab vlogs often. But yeah, if something comes up where like that makes sense, that'd be cool. Arkansas is kind of far though. I'm in Canada. That's not even the same place, kind of. Michael Tobin, you speak the truth. Hey man, this is I can't call him the Black Magician. That would be unreasonable in February 2025. But Tobin is the man about Blackmagic cameras. If I have a problem, I am going directly to him. It could be done. It could be done. I feel like once I start making it, I feel like some engineer is going to be like, yeah, let's just make a full monitor. Then what's the point? And then we wouldn't have the thing that you're looking for, and we would all be sad. I am going to do 15 minutes left of the stream. I'm going to do 15 minutes left because I'm going to go do legs after. Black Magician. Yeah, see, Tobin, if you just, exchanged your ethnicity, calling you the Black Magician for your knowledge on Blackmagic cameras would be so much easier. We need to get you bundled up and take the C63 out for some street photography in Toronto. Here's the thing. I'm open to it if that wind that shook the house doesn't come back. Like, it's great to say that now, but my whole house shook 10 minutes ago because of a gust of wind. The house shook. I'm a person. So God bless you if that could happen. Tobin, even though it's not a camera, but the iPhone Plus Red app plus Komodo won me over my 6K Pro. The ability to customize the interface is clutch, but in the Blackmagic camera clean. Tobin, I got to bug you about how to figure out how to get my Pixels to work on my iPhone because I don't know how. And I'm realizing that I don't know how. And I'm frustrated that I don't know how. And I think I'm going to suck at it if I try it on my own. I was watching Michael Tobin video right before I hopped in the stream. Hey, there you go. You know what I just realized too? And I don't think the rest of us noticed this. I'll be reaching out with my budget. To vlog? Okay. I think like our own group of friends, I don't know if it's like the YouTube algorithm knows that we hang out with each other, but I found like everyone comes to one of our videos or live streams like directly off the heels of somebody else, which is actually really interesting. So we won't see you ice fishing. I'm African. What do you think this is? I'm Canadian. I'm not that Canadian. Holy crap. Ice fishing? No. I barely have ice cubes. Use a red and watch a review. If you can only choose BM or red. Depends on what the context is. I mean, like, if I'm gimbaling a car. Also, be like, Blackmagic as a brand or red as a brand? Because, like, I would take that, like, right now, if money's not an option, that V Raptor is looking nice right now. Then again, the Ursa 12k just came out, but also the red V Raptor you can get on a gimbal on, like, a Hydra Alien. So, in terms of, like, if I'm shooting stuff that needs, like, anything that's, like, automotive, I would pick a red. That also might change based on the readout of potentially the 12k. But I do like how affordable Blackmagic is. So, if money's not an option, like, I get a V Raptor X and be done with it. But because money is an option, Blackmagic makes a lot of sense because it's half of the price for most of the things. Starting personal hotspot, plug in rear USB, hit trust device. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't do any of those steps. Okay. I just plugged it in and thought it was going to work. I plugged it in, opened the Blackmagic app, and thought it was going to work. Have my Melody's friends say they aren't built for the cold. Because we're not built for the cold, Ron. Do you have any... I don't think acclimatization has been passed down genetically. Or maybe it has been passed down genetically. No, when it gets cold outside, I stay inside. I'm wearing a toque indoors. That's how cold Canada is outside currently. And I have heat on. How crazy play with me, this ice fishing foolishness. You know, I feel really bad. I feel bad people on the replay that are like, man, this guy's going to go deep on the Ursa 12k. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just talking shit with my friends. I think I can swear. I'm going to try answering some of the last Instagram questions if there is any. And then I'm going to hang it up and then I'm going to go train legs because I want to. One of the question, Nikon, Fuji, and Sony walk into a bar. What does a bartender say when he sees them? Nikon walks into the bar. The bartender is going to see a white or red. It's a wine joke. Fuji, bartender's going to stand really still so Fuji can focus on him. That was a bad joke. And Sony, he's going to give the same drink in 15 different glasses. That's what's going to happen. Got to peace out. It's going to be fun. I got to get on the anamorphic and try. Yes, you do. Also, like, I'm probably going to duck out in a little bit because I think the stream is getting long in the tooth. This is also part 2 of the stream. My dad called in the middle of the first one, and that kind of where all the bulk of the information was in there. And then I also deleted that stream. So, live and learn. Not arguing with you. I'm in Houston. I've been in Texas my whole life. I am not built for it either. See? Y'all think that we just a bunch of... I don't know what the appropriate word is for indigenous cultures that like the snow. Because you can't say Eskimo anymore. I know you can't do that. I'm not a snow person. There. That's the word. I'm not a snow person. Actually, you know what? I'm going to dip. I think I'm going to get ready to go to the gym. I should train. Have a good one. Aloria, I'll see you later. Is it worth getting the red Komodo now? It depends on what you shoot. Depends on how much money you have in your wallet. It also depends what your needs are, man. One thing, and I think we do this in every single stream, whether or not a camera is worth it is not contingent on my opinion, especially if I don't have the context in terms of what the camera is going to be used for. Because for some people it's going to be yes, some people it's going to be no, and it all kind of depends on what you got going on at the moment. So I indefinitely cannot answer that question at any given time without giving context. So, Greg, you will not see me there. If I could promise you anything, you will not see me there. Hey, peace. Or you could talk about maybe releasing again, running gun docs also like it could go either way, man. Depends on how much money you have in your wallet and how much money you're willing to spend. But yeah, I say both cameras are fine. If you're willing to deal with the massive weight of a 12k in a large, but for exchange for a larger sensor, excellent. But yeah, in a vacuum, whether or not I can, I would say, you know what, rent them both, because I can't for me to do that with confidence that you'll actually get what you're looking for out of the question. I would need far more context. Or you talk about releasing it in NAB. I am not going to do that. There are things that are strategically blurred out in this bokeh that y'all can't even see that, may or may not be things. Thoughts on the new Nikon update? Disney, before I go, explain to me the new Nikon update, because I saw it. I don't know when it releases. I tried to check for the firmware update, and I couldn't find it. And I also don't fully understand what it is. Real G's don't skip leg day. I do leg day 2 to 3 times. In a 7-day period, like 2 to 3 times. That's just because I do like upper, lower. So like today is my second leg day, which is also going to suck. I also haven't consumed a carbohydrate outside of these protein bars, which only have like 8 grams of carbs each one. I've only had one. Someone explain to me the Nikon firmware update before I go, because I actually don't understand what is it out yet. First of all, is it out yet? Second of all, what does it do? Okay, there you go. Red Cine X Beta is processing a software from Red. Now Nikon RAW operates like R3D. Oh. I mean, that changes a couple things. It changes like a couple small things, but yeah, that's dope. Okay. My thoughts on it is that's really cool, actually. I guess we'll see in coming months like what it's gonna look like. Oh, including log 10, log VG. Okay, I like that. That's gonna be a dope update. Hey, you know what? That whoever asked about the Komodo X, maybe just get a Nikon Z6 III and call it a day if you could do that with autofocus of all things too. Now, is this going to be for the Z6 III and the Z8, or just the Z8 and Z9? Is it for all Nikon cameras, I should say? Sorry, I said I was going to go, but now, I'm emotionally invested, and I'm very curious. Also, I feel very bad for people watching this replay and expecting like an in-depth. Any Nikon RAW file video. Okay, so my thoughts is that's great, especially for people that already own Nikon cameras already. I guess we'll see how it performs when it's on the Z6 III. I haven't tested out the NRAW yet, so I think we'll figure that out. But once I get that figured out, I think that'll be a cool pickup. But that being said, I am going to do a bunch of squats, maybe a deadlift or two. I also have Bulgarian split squats, and I also have to do cardio because this is going to slim down a little bit in 2025. Respects to everybody that came out. Respects also to Greg, who sent a super chat. Not an obligation. Let me know if you guys do want to have that that membership tier with the video critiques. I know some people asked about that, and I'll try to figure out and see if I can set that up. Nikon going hard this year and the next. Yeah, man. Here's the thing. I think Blackmagic does a lot of things to reset the market. I think if there is a company that Sony is like, hey, we should pay attention to that, it's probably Nikon, because they have the same amount of, they have a lot of time in the industry and potentially deeper pockets. So we'll see. Later, go. We appreciate the convo. Respects, Roy. Okay, I am going to go. I do like day and cardio. Yeah, it's going to suck. All right, yep. I'll see you guys in the next one. This is a nice kind of yap and chill. So we'll see you later. Hey, look, a brand email.